So what really prepares someone for a moment of crisis?
That is the core question, isn't it? And I think when you look at someone like Rosa Parks, the answer is, well, it's a lifetime of steady choices. It's years of responsibility.
Right, because the story we usually hear is about a tired seamstress who just snapped.
Exactly. And that story misses the entire point. Nothing about December 1st, 1955 was random. It was, the result of the way she chose to live her life every single day.
It was
It
preparation.
was total preparation. She was this battle-tested agent of change, not an accidental hero. It was all a culmination of decades of discipline.
So let's break that down. Where does that preparation start? I mean, what was her early life like?
It starts with her foundation, with her family. She was born in Alabama in 1913, right in the thick of Jim Crow segregation.
Which was designed to crush your spirit.
Completely. And her family, especially her mother Leona, who was a teacher, they were her armor. Her mother homeschooled her and just drilled into her this idea that dignity, your own personal dignity, was a tool of freedom. It was non-negotiable.
So she was taught to carry herself with respect, even when the world was trying to humiliate her.
Every single day. And something that really reinforces this is her health. The sources mentioned she had chronic tonsillitis as a child. She was often physically frail.
So her strength had to come from somewhere else.
It had to come from her character, from her mind. It taught her that her real power wasn't physical, it was internal.
That's a powerful lesson to learn so young. So that's the mindset, the head. What about the hands, the actual work and action?
Well, that started early, too. She had to leave school when she was just 16
Why was that?
to care for her sick grandmother, and then later her mother. She took on these really heavy responsibilities, working as a house cleaner, a seamstress, just grueling jobs.
And a lot of people might see that as, a distraction from a bigger purpose.
But it wasn't. It was training. That season of sacrifice taught her endurance. It taught her discipline. That's the bedrock of any activist.
And she didn't give up on her own education, did she?
Not at all.
Yeah.
She went back and got her high school diploma in 1934. And you have to understand, for a black woman in Alabama at that time, that was a radical act of self-worth.
Because the system was designed to prevent that from happening.
Absolutely. So from there, her focus sort of expands from family to community. In 1943, she joins the Montgomery NAACP.
And she jumps right in.
Immediately. She
Yep.
becomes a secretary. And her job was to investigate cases of racial violence and unfair treatment.
So she's on the front lines, seeing the worst of it.
She's seeing it up close, documenting it, gaining this deep, intimate knowledge of how the system failed black people over and over again. And at the same time, she's fighting her own personal battles.
Like trying to vote?
Yes. She tried to register to vote 3 times before she finally succeeded in 1945. They used every trick to stop her impossible literacy test, closing the office early.
But she just kept coming back.
She kept coming back. Every rejection just deepened her resolve. It was conditioning.
And then just before the bus incident, she has this key experience at the Highlander Folk School.
Yes. In the summer of 1955, Highlander was this integrated space where activists trained. For maybe the first time in her life, she's living and learning with white people as complete equals.
That must have been transformative.
It gave her a tangible vision of what she was fighting for. It wasn't a dream anymore. She saw it was possible. It sharpened her moral clarity. She left there ready.
So December 1st, 1955. She gets on the bus. She's not just a worker going home. She's an NAACP officer, a voter, someone who has seen an integrated future.
All of that preparation meets this one moment. The bus driver tells her and 3 others to give up their seats for a white passenger. The other 3 move.
But she doesn't.
She stays put. And it's this quiet, simple refusal. It's not loud. It's just firm.
I love that quote of hers when she said she was tired, but...
Not tired of giving in. It completely reframes it. It's not physical fatigue. It's a profound moral exhaustion. She was done submitting.
So the driver calls the police. What was she like during the arrest?
Completely calm. She held this strategic stillness. There was no panic, no rage. It was the absolute alignment of her beliefs and her actions. She knew the consequences, and she was steady.
Which is the ultimate proof of her preparation.
It is. And it brings us to that perfect alignment of what we can call the head, the heart, and the hands.
Okay, let's look at that. The head is her mindset.
Right. It's her mental liberation. She refused to accept that she was less than. She held on to her self-respect, and she used all those past rejections as fuel, not as barriers.
And the heart. That's her purpose.
Her purpose, yeah, which was always bigger than herself. It was about protecting the dignity of her entire community.
Mhm.
Her stand on the bus wasn't just for her. It was for every Black person on that bus.
And finally, the hands, the consistent action.
For decades, the NAACP cases,
Yeah.
the voter registration fight, and then the bus refusal itself. That single act triggered the 381-day Montgomery bus boycott. Her personal action fueled a huge collective victory.
But that victory came at a massive personal cost. The story didn't end there.
Not even close. After the boycott, she lost her job. Her husband lost his job. They faced constant death threats. Their life in Montgomery was made impossible.
So they had to leave.
In 1957, they were forced to move to Detroit. Her resilience was tested just as much after the crisis as during it.
But she didn't stop her work.
Never. In Detroit, she went on to work for Congressman John Conyers for many years, continuing her activism from inside the system.
And she also focused on the next generation.
That's right. In 1987, she co-founded the Rosa and Raymond Parks Institute for Self-Development. They ran youth programs called Pathways to Freedom.
So she was passing on the lessons she'd learned.
Exactly, teaching young people how to build that same internal armor, that same self-worth. Her work was this long, unbroken line for more than 50 years.
It's just incredible. So Rosa Parks faced her crisis moment with so much strength because she had spent years training her mind, shaping her purpose, and taking steady, consistent action.
It's that perfect alignment of head, heart, and hands. Her story really proves that preparation is what helps people stand firm when those hard moments arrive. It's built in the quiet choices you make every single day.
It really makes you think. If someone looked at your life 20 years from now, what would they say your purpose was based on the choices you're making today?
That's the challenge, isn't it? And we'd encourage you to think about that and how you can apply these same lessons of self-worth and consistent action to stand firm in your own life.